Hi, and welcome to Alaskan in the Philippines. Must be New Year's Day there in the West. Happy New Year's Day to you guys. Hope you're watching football or whatever you're drinking beer, whatever you're doing. Eating good, of course. But yeah, it's the day after here. Yesterday here at the condo owner had a big feed right down in the lobby. Had giant piles of food on big giant trays. I mean, mountains of beef, Mongolian beef and stuff. Just all Thai food, all home cooked Thai food. I don't know who brought it. It wasn't a catering service or nothing. It was just big piles of food. And I walked through and they're like, come eat. And they tried to get me to eat. And it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't eat that early. I usually don't eat till around 4. So yeah, I politely bowed out. But yeah, food looked really good and a lot of it. There was like 4 or 5 different dishes you could choose from. And it was a really nice spread. Surprised. They celebrate New Year's here and they gave the condo residents a big feed. That's pretty cool, I thought. If it was in the evening, I would have ate. But it was there all day. There was food out almost all day until about 4 when I was hungry. I went out and it was all gone, or they had cleaned it, took it away from the morning. So, but anyway, yeah. Today I thought I'd talk about when to take off your shoes when you're in Asia, because like in America, we always just clomp around in our houses and go in and out of businesses with our shoes on without giving a second thought. We do it in our own home. It's normal for us. Walk on our carpeted shag carpet with our shoes. It's no problem. We seem to do it. A lot of us do. It's just an American thing, I think. Maybe Canada, Europe, I don't know. But when you come here to Asia, it's kind of a whole different story. Most houses, in fact, all houses, you could just about say all houses in the Philippines and Thailand both take off their shoes before entering the house, usually. Almost all of them do. From what I've seen, you never go into a person's residence with your shoes on. Just keep that in mind. And then there's a lot of the businesses too. Not so much in the Philippines because there ain't so many businesses that you can actually walk into. In the Philippines, the businesses are like the roadside businesses are just little sari stores. And they have a great, like a burglar-proof gate, bars in front of them. You don't actually go in. You just walk up to the counter that's all barred up and they point to what you want. And they don't sell much. They're really not much for a store at all. You won't find nothing useful there unless you smoke cigarettes or drink beer. You can get beer and cigarettes and soap and things like that, and small items, toothpaste, but they really don't have much for a selection of things that you'd want to eat. Go to a store and buy yourself. Western people won't find much there at all. So anyway, yeah, so you won't take off your shoes at those. You'll walk up to the counter and you won't go in. So that's the deal. Most of the small stores and in the bigger stores like the malls and stuff, everybody does wear their shoes. In the McDonald's and the mall, you go in, you don't take your shoes off. And some of the smaller businesses, I've never noticed, but I think they probably do if there is a small business. But I didn't, like when we go into the dentist there, you didn't. But now when you come over here to Thailand, they're a little more strict with that. There's a lot of the businesses they don't allow to come in with shoes, and it's kind of hard to tell for someone. But then there's some signs you look for. You walk up, if you're going to go into a business, a small shop, mom and pop shop of any type, even like a Visa services sometimes. Even you walk up, and if there's sandals sitting out in front of the door you'll take off your shoes before you go into the building. Even if it's a public space, you do take off your shoes. Even the temples, a lot of them you have to take off your shoes before you go in there. But yeah, but small businesses like even massage shops, 100% of those you take off your shoes. In fact, they'll take off their shoes before they even go up on the porch. They'll take off their sandals. Everybody's wearing slippers, they call them in the Philippines. And here they're just flip-flops or sandals. But yeah, they'll take them off before the first step even. They won't go up onto the porch. And they take care of that area. They always clean that area. They keep the areas, the businesses here will keep the area in front of their business completely clean, free of cigarette butts. They'll sweep the leaves every morning. You see them out there almost every morning sweeping. There's not one speck of cigarette butt or garbage on that area. So take off their shoes. They want to keep it totally clean in that sidewalk area even. So yeah, when you come up to a business, if you see there's a bunch of sandals there, you take off your shoes before you go into the businesses. But I know, like, when I walk by the massage shops, I don't frequent. I've never had a massage here yet. I want to get one someday, but someday, I guess. But when you walk up to past, I walk past them a lot, and always they have their sandals out in front of them, and the women are all, the massage ladies are all barefoot staying there. And the men that come up, that go in, they take off their shoes right at the bottom of the stairs too. That's as far as they get usually. I don't know what would happen if you went in. They'd tell you probably take them off, but you don't want it anyway. I don't know. So in a lot of the condos, even when you walk in where I'm living with Thais, you see that they, in fact, that last place, they all took off their shoes and set them in the hall before they go into their apartments. So the whole hall is all the shoes. You can tell if somebody's home by if their shoes are there or not. So I thought that was a bad idea. I never did that. I'd take mine off right inside the door. I don't want people to know whether they're home or not, or steal your shoes. They won't. There's no stealing that I've seen at all yet, and nothing really. So I don't worry about it. I leave my, in the same with on the beach. I go down to the beach. I leave my sandals right on the edge, right on the beach, right on the sand, and take a walk barefoot, and I'll come back an hour later and my sandals are there. Everybody does it, you know. When you walk down to going to the beach, there's just everybody just leaves their sandals right there and goes walk for the beach. But yeah, I thought I'd point that out, that when and when not to take off your shoes. So like I say, you just look, and it'll always be apparent if you're watching looking where you're going before you enter a business. Like I say, at the 7-Eleven, you don't have to worry about it. At McDonald's, you don't have to worry about it. At the malls, you don't have to worry about it. But if it's a private mom and pop visa agency or something like that, massage parlors, even the cannabis shops, I see they all take off their shoes. So it's just a hit and miss. Sometimes if you're a foreigner, you'll go in. I've seen people that went into a shop with their shoes before, in the Thai help that came in, they take off theirs before the Thai people took theirs off, where the foreigner didn't. And I never seen no ruckus raised about it or nothing, but it's just etiquette that I guess you should follow if you can, you know. As long as the Thais do it, you probably should too. Show us respect anyway, you know, make sure. Otherwise we look like slobs, you know. In my opinion, though, I get the bottom from going barefoot a lot in the apartment and stuff. You get the bottoms of your feet kind of get black, and I have to wash them a couple times a day. Especially in the Philippines, the soot from the smoke, all the smoke in the air in the Philippines would settle on the patio and stuff. So when you walk out there, your feet get just totally black. You could take a white rag and wipe, and they'd just be almost black from just the soot settling from all the people burning. They burn all the leaves every day and smoke the whole town up of Dumaguete every day, morning and evening. They smoke it up, and then there's sugarcane burning and all that too. So yeah, your bottoms of your feet get totally black. I have to wash them before I get into bed. I have to wash my bottoms of my feet. So finally, I got to the point where I wore my old slippers indoors, and I just kept an old pair of slippers, sandals, flip-flops for wearing indoors in my own apartment. I haven't been lately, but I probably should do that again. It's kind of a pain in the butt to have to wash your feet before you go to bed and stuff. So maybe that's what I did in Alaska too. I always wore a pair of sandals around the house, so I'm used to that. I just threw away a pair, my old pair. They were getting kind of ugly. I threw them away. I guess I better buy a new pair and have two pairs anyway. But anyway, yeah, just watch around, and you'll see buildings with the ones that, if it's a small place, be mindful of it, especially in a house. Always just take it off. Don't even ask a question. If you're going into some Thai's house or a Filipino's house, take your shoes off, regardless if there's no shoes there at all. Make them tell you, no, it's okay. But yeah, it's kind of religious to do that in both the Philippines and Thailand. Just something we Americans take for granted, that, you know, you go into somebody's house, they generally don't care if you take their shoes off or not. But here they probably do. So, and there's a reason for it too. You know, there's a lot of open pit sewage and stuff in a lot of these Asian countries, especially like the Philippines. You walk through the mud, and you don't know if that's mud, or if you walk through, you know, just the dust has still got a lot of the, you know, if there's dirt, it's dirt, you know, whether it's a mud form or a dust form, it can, you know, if there's just bad stuff. And that's kind of, it just settles that bad dust, and you're walking it into your house. It's probably not a good idea. So yeah, taking it off, especially in a country where there's diseases that we don't normally see in the U.S. and stuff. You could probably track some eggs of some kind of worms and larvae into your house too. That wouldn't be a good thing to be living with. It's just something to think about. Some of those germs you don't want to be living with in your house or their business. So that's the reasoning behind it anyway. So anyway, that's just a heads up when you come to Asia. Always just wear slippers, easy to slip in and a slip off shoes, if you're gonna be going around somewhere like that. Or just like everybody wears sandals and flip flops. I recommend a sturdy pair of sandals over those dollar store flip flops, unless you want to end up with a broken ankle and in the hospital from a fall. I'd avoid those things because they're dangerous in my opinion. They'll fold up on you and you'll trip. It's not a good thing. But anyway, yeah, so get you some good sandals and take them off before you go into a Thai or a Filipino's house, and they'll appreciate you much more. Well, anyway, that's my tip for the day. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you learned anything, and we'll see you in the next one. Happy New Year's to you guys. Hope you have a good evening. Bye.